All right, so let's do it. Let's get started just so we have time to do this meeting. So our secretary, Caitlin Fatale, was unable to attend today. So I will be appointing Natalie Rodriguez, our current fabulous vice president and past president, as secretary for this meeting. Natalie, could you please advise if we have quorum?
All members in good standing on April 15th, 2021 are entitled to vote. I have a list of those members and will submit them along with the minutes of this meeting. Madam President, we have present in person or by proxy 102 proxy and non-board and staff present members. In accordance with GAS bylaws, 100 members present in person or by proxy are required for quorum. So we do have quorum.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Natalie. So this is the official call to order at 3:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I just want to welcome all of you to our annual members meeting. Because this is virtual, we just ask that everyone just please stay on mute unless asking a question later, which we'll have some time for. When we get to that point in the meeting, you can type your question in the chat and we can read them as they come in. Or if you want to ask that question, we just ask that you write question into the chat and we'll call on you in the order that that is received. So this is a really exciting time and we hope you are all enjoying the conference. We of course have had some nerves, leading up to this because it's the first time running this virtual platform, but really have learned so much. Our staff has exceeded themselves in what they've been able to do. And so we just can't thank them enough. And we've gotten wonderful feedback from people and really connected with people internationally all around the world. We've learned so much from doing this that it's really going to inform how we do virtual programming in the future. So I'm going to run through our agenda and leave some time at the end for questions. The first thing on our agenda is board introductions. So I would just like to ask and invite our board to just introduce themselves briefly and then call on the next director. So I'll start. So I'm Jessica Jane Julius. I'm currently speaking from Philadelphia, PA in the United States, and I'm the board president. And I'll call on Natalie next.
Hi, everyone. My name is Natalie Rodriguez. I'm the former president, as Jess said, and the current VP. And I am calling you from the bush in Alberta. And it's been so fun watching the conference from here. It's been ridiculous. The next person I'd like to introduce is Heather.
Hey everybody, I'm Heather Mcelwee. In my day job, I'm the executive director of the Pittsburgh Glass Center, and I'm calling in from Pittsburgh, PA. I also serve as the GAS board treasurer. So welcome, and I'm glad to have you all here. I'll call on Nadanya next.
I'm Nadanya Idris, and I'm in Berlin, Germany. I'm currently the GAS vice president with Natalie, which is like an honor. And I'm calling on Mike Soroka.
Hi, I'm Mike Soroka. I'm the Chief Operating Officer, soon to be Chief Executive Officer of Gold Ray Industries. We're an architectural glass company. And this is my first year on, just starting my second year on the board. So Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Sorry, threw that in there too. And Paige, you're up.
Hi, I'm Paige Morris. I'm the student representative on the board of directors, and I'm calling in from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I'll call on Mike Hernandez next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Hernandez. I'm joining you from San Diego, California, where I run the glass program at Palomar College. Good to see everyone here. I'll call on Lynn Reed.
Hi, everybody. This is Lynn Reed. I'm calling in from Portland, Oregon. I'm inside my studio called Vitrolux. I guess I've been on the board for 4 years, if my memory serves me. And sorry about the background. I can turn this off. That's distracting. And I guess I'll call on Glenn, aka Kristen Ferguson.
Thank you. I'm Glenn Hardiman. I'm calling in from lovely Lake Norman, North Carolina, where it's near 90 degrees. I've been on the board since Murano, and I'm wearing my Murano t-shirt. Who hasn't? Is Dimitri on?
No, we have Nick.
Nick's
Yeah.
here.
Hello, good morning. My name is Masahiro Sasaki. So I'm Japanese, and I think I've been the board for 6 years. So maybe this is last year. So yeah, I really enjoy, and I hope I can be the bridge to the west to the east. Yeah, thank you.
And then I think I saw, is Lisa on?
I think she must have ducked out. I don't see her any longer.
Okay. Have we missed anyone as I'm scrolling through?
I don't think so.
I
Okay,
don't think so.
all right. And so Brandy, who are the board members that are absent, just so we can tell the members? We have,
Paulo,
yeah.
Lisa Zerkowitz,
Mhm,
Demetra Theophanis,
mhm. Okay,
Deborah Rosinski, Ben
mhm,
Cobb,
mhm. Yes,
I'm
that's,
trying to do this from memory.
Eric Goldschmidt.
Eric Goldschmidt.
there we go. There we go. Okay, well, thank you. And just a real big thank you to the board of directors. I mean, this has been quite a year for everyone, not just with gas, but with everything else that they are doing in their lives. And they, just, really step up and have put in so much work to continue to help gas evolve and survive during a really difficult year. And so we're going to move on to the next part of the agenda, which is the highlights from 2020. And I'm going to pass this off to Brandy.
All right, I'm making sure I wasn't on mute. Before we get into the highlights, I wanted to quickly introduce the staff so that you could all get to know the folks that have been working so hard, not just for this conference, but all of the other programming and resources that we put out through the year. So we're not all in the same order, so I'm going to do just what the board did and just pass it on. Kristen Ferguson, who is our development and membership manager. Do you want to wave, Kristen?
Yeah, hi. I'm sorry, do I say something?
You can say you can say whatever you want.
Okay. Hello, my name is Kristen Ferguson. My Zoom name is Glenn Hardiman, and I've been on the GAS staff since 2017. Murano was my first conference, and it's been a joy to work with this team of people through both in-person and online events. I'll hand over to Jenna.
Hi, everyone. There was a really loud dog barking outside, so if I mute myself, it's because of that. So my name is Jenna. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the operations and programs manager at GAS, and it's been an absolute delight serving with all of the other staff members and the board, and I've been a part of the team since October of 2019. So nice to see all of you. And I'll pass it over to Lauren.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jenna. So my name is Lauren Bayer. I am the communications and social media manager here at GAS. I also joined the team around the same time Jenna did in October of 2019. And yeah, it has been a joy working on all these events and bringing all this amazing content to everyone. And thank you. I will pass off to May.
Hi, everyone. I'm May. I'm the communications assistant here at GAS, and I've been part of the team since October 2019 as well. So we all kind of started at the same time. And it's been so fun with the conference. It's been great to actually meet people. I feel like we've been kind of in our own little world the past year. So it's been amazing to actually like see people face to face, well, through the computer screen. So yeah.
Thanks, May. Thank you all.
So yeah, for 3 of these ladies, this is their first real conference because last year, as Jess mentioned, happened so quickly and was in such a different format. So this is their first real introduction to what it's like getting to meet all of the members and really connecting this way. So I'm glad that it's working out and everyone's been able to participate. I'm hitting on the 2020 highlights, and obviously virtual conferences have been a big one. This is our second virtual conference in a year, which is just mind-boggling, quite honestly. And we definitely put together last year's in 6 weeks, and it was really more about putting content out for the community. And we felt like that we were missing some of the connection and the interaction. And this year with Remo, we felt like that really changed. And I know I've been experiencing the same thing, getting to talk to people, some folks that I've known for years, other folks that I've just met. And there are lots of elements that make it feel just like a real conference. So it'll never take the place of in-person, but this has been a much needed connection point. So I appreciate all of you coming and participating in all the various ways, because it definitely was much needed from our standpoint. So this has been really successful as far as virtual conferences go. It's been a tough year with virtual events happening so frequently, but we've had more than 600 attendees at this year's virtual conference, and we feel like that is pretty great. We normally in in-person conferences look at between 1,000 and 1,200 for a number. So we feel really, really good about this. We've also, coming out of last year's virtual switch, we added quite a bit of virtual programming to really bridge the void that happened with the pandemic. We started offering community conversations, which were free and open to the public, whether you were a member of GAS or not, to really tackle some of the larger topics that were affecting everyone within our community. We had smaller cohort calls that were focused on executives, educators, and small business owners to help them with any trials that they were dealing with due to the pandemic or just life in general, so that they had a small support group that could really help them thrive when times were so challenging. Glass Reflections is an Instagram program that runs monthly with Jenna, and it really focuses on self-care and how people use glass as part of their healing process. And if they don't use glass but are glass makers, how they still find that peace and how they take care of themselves. We have a student meetup that Paige and Jenna run together every month, and that is free and open to all students, again, whether GAS members or not. And they have done just such an amazing job taking students all over the world and into people's studios and into exhibits and just lots of things that I think most people, especially most students, wouldn't have the opportunity to see. And then we've also had a number of gallery tours geared toward our donor circle and our collector members. So those are the 5 big virtual programs that came out of last year's virtual conference and have really helped the past year feel, keep us connected through the process. Another thing that was a real highlight, probably the biggest highlight for us through the pandemic, was the ability for us to give emergency relief grants to those GAS members that were really impacted by the pandemic. This is something that we plan on continuing to do in the future, not necessarily for people that are just impacted by the pandemic, but any emergency that happens in their lives, natural or otherwise. And then the mission, vision, values was, I guess I keep saying everyone was such a highlight, but they really all were. We started out right before the pandemic hit, reevaluating our mission and tackling the job of rewriting it, as well as coming up with a vision statement and a set of values that we were going to use as the foundation for everything that we do moving forward. And we finished that up at the end of the year, at the end of 2020. And we're very proud of where that process took us and what we've ended up with. If you haven't seen it, we did put together a small panel recording about the mission, vision, values that is in the pre-recorded presentations, just going into a little more depth of what the process was like getting to those mission, vision, values, why we made the choices that we did, and how we plan on using those in the future. So if you're curious about that, I would recommend you look at that. It's very short, only 15 minutes, and will just give you a little more insight to where we're planning to go as an organization. So those are our key highlights from 2020.
Thank you, Brandy. And I think in addition to that, you know, we did bring on another student rep position. So right now we have Paige, but we're bringing on an international student rep. So looking to have 2 student reps at all time that are overlapping, so that we have somebody placed in different sides of the globe, and the outreach can be a little bit more thorough. Also, the thing is that this year, with the programming, so much of this is new programming, and it came out of the pandemic. And we're in that process of seeing what parts of the programming were successful, evaluating that, and then moving forward. And some of those things we plan on keeping or combining together. So if you're ever curious, please make sure to stay following our social media platforms, because that always gets posted on there. Visit the website if you haven't done that in a while, because there's always announcements, there's resources, there's amazing things on there. And we're trying to get that information out to all of you. And so those are 2 really quick ways of being able to see what GAS is doing throughout the year. And the other thing is that we have an amazing, awesome staff. And so if you ever have questions about things, don't be shy. You know, don't be shy about reaching out to them. They're happy to talk to you and to work with you and answer any of your questions anytime. So we're going to move into the next part of the agenda, which is the financial review. So I'm going to pass that back to Heather, who is our treasurer.
Hi, everybody. Thanks. I'm going to share my screen. We put together just a kind of quick highlight here. So this is, you know, really just the highlights of 2020 in terms of our revenue and our expenses. And we'll look at the revenue side of things first. So you'll see we brought in a little over $100,000 in membership revenue, even though we didn't have a conference last year. And then you'll see there was the next line down is kind of other program services, and then individual support, corporate support, foundation support. Those are all development income, so money that we raised to benefit GAS. And then the last line there, investment income, is actually the money that we see a return on from the money that we have in an investment account, basically. Money that the board had set aside many years ago. If ever there was a rainy day, and gosh, if 2020 wasn't a rainy day, I don't know what it was. So you'll see, obviously, our total operating revenue was about $240,000, whereas our operating expenses were $455,000. So a pretty major deficit, of course, in 2020. We were lucky enough to be able to get a PPP loan, first round and a second one here in 2021. If you look on the operating expense side, you'll see we spend about 64% on program services. So that's all the things that we do to deliver our mission, about 23% on fundraising, and then about 13% on management and operations. And that's a pretty standard mix. If you go to GuideStar or any of the other kind of charity navigator type places, that's a good healthy mix. You want to see organizations spending the bulk of their money on their program services, of course. So that's, you know, a good thing. Down here in the note, you know, I'll just kind of point out that the conference is the main way that GAS earns revenue, you know, so about 70% of our annual operating revenue actually comes from the conference. So you can imagine in a year when we didn't have any conference income like 2020, that was really difficult. And even this year, you know, the ticket revenue from the virtual conference was certainly lower than if it had been an in-person conference. So another hard year, but again, you know, we knew that there was going to be another loss this year. And fortunately, We have the reserve funds to keep the organization moving forward. And we're also working on putting a plan in place to be able to actually repay those reserve funds over the next several years as we stabilize the organization. So does anybody have any questions for me on the financial side? Okay, thanks everybody.
Okay. Thank you so much, Heather. Okay, so we want to talk about a little bit about what we're doing in the 21-22 year. So as you heard Brandy speak a little bit, this past year we have launched our mission, vision, values. And that's a really important thing moving forward because we're now currently working on our strategic plan. And the mission and vision both relate to the organization's purpose. And these statements answer kind of things like who we are, what we value, and where we are going. In the development of the strategic plan, we are hoping to have that launched and shared with all of you at the start of our fiscal year, which is October 1st. So this will go up on our website, and once that's up on the website, we'll also share that we've put it up on our social media. So you can check back into that, but that's a really exciting thing. This strategic plan is the document that is going to help us achieve our goals and is going to be the guiding document for the decisions that we are making. The other thing to talk about is that this year, we're really celebrating GAS's 50th anniversary. I mean, what a feat. That is beyond exciting to celebrate 50 years of this, all of these people that have been a part of this community, and it's continuing to expand and the outreach keeps moving. And so what we're starting with is this conference is a kickoff to our 50th year. It's going to be followed by a series of events and programming in the next 12 months, including Spark events. So keep an eye on your social media and website for updates on that. And we're going to end with a 50th year celebration with a conference in Tacoma. And you're going to hear a little bit about that at the closing party tonight. So tune into that because that's going to be coming to you live from the museum. Let me see. So the next thing on the agenda is that we're looking to do the election of our new board members. And Brandy, who did we say was going to?
Mike Soroka is going to take.
Okay, I'm going to pass this off to Mike.
All right. So I would like to nominate the following individuals as proposed by the nominating committee and unanimously approved by the board. If you are here, please wave so that people know who you are. Purnima Patel, Eric Katada, Sunny Wang, and Martha Zakin to serve a 2-year term starting October 1st, 2021. And Frederick Rombach and Leo Tokoski, to serve a 3-year term also starting on October 2021.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Eric. So I need a motion with somebody to say I move to elect the slate of nominees.
I'll move to elect the slate of nominees.
Thank you, Glenn. And I need a second.
I second.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Nadanya. So I call for a vote. In Caitlin's absence, I, as president, hold the proxies and vote all in favor for the slate of directors. There were none that were opposed or abstentions. I would also like to ask for a vote from our members who are present here today who did not submit a proxy vote. So can I get a vote that's all in favor? Okay. So hard on Zoom. Are there any opposed? Do you see any, Brandy? Okay. Any abstentions? Okay, passed unanimously. Congratulations to our new board, elected board directors. How exciting. Okay, so now we have some time to open this up for discussion for questions from our members. So if you would like to have a question, just write question in the chat and we can call on you if you want to say it out loud. Or if you want to just type it into the chat and then we can read it. Any questions? Just pure excitement over the conference. Oh, good. Now the pressure is off and I can go have my happy hour. Okay. Just looking around, I see Leo has joined us. Hi, Leo. Congrats on just being elected new board
I
member.
made it just in time. Thank you.
You just jumped in.
Yeah. I was lost in the conference, but now I'm here. So.
Thank you, everybody. This is Martha.
Oh, hi, Martha. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
We're so excited to have you.
Thank you.
Well, we can all stare at each other awkwardly for a little bit of time and just, you know, get to know each other's faces. This is our in-person as it gets for this meeting. But I just want to thank you all. I think, you know, as a member, I joined GAS when I was a student, and it has been a really important thing in my life and my career for the past 20 some years. And when I joined as a director, you know, I thought about the world that I want to be in and how I can participate in that and create change. And so I can't tell you, you know, how honored I am to serve on this board with this group of people that are just phenomenal and all very like-minded in that idea of change. And also then supporting, you know, all of you. You know, so it's a really, it's felt really good to be a part of GAS. And if there are no questions, or I can open it up for other board members to say comments or anything else like that. And yes, the United Nations did declare that 2022 will be the International Year of Glass, which is awesome.
So exciting.
So exciting. Okay, well, I hope you got a little bit out of this meeting today about some of the things that GAS has been doing and is doing. Know that we're always here to, you know, we believe in transparency and we believe in communicating with all of you. There's never a bad question or thought or suggestion. It helps to keep this organization relevant. It's a really important thing. So really reach out, participate in any way you can, ask questions, say what you want, say what you need, because that's what we're here for. And it's wonderful to see all of your gorgeous faces today in this meeting. And thank you for attending this conference. And I can't wait to run around Tacoma with you in the next conference if it's possible. So thank you. So I'm going to call this meeting and we're adjourned. So thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.
Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thanks, Jess.
Thanks, Jess.
Yes.